Good morning. Mike Rivers, you're in the car today. Interesting. Mike, Abby, Amanda, Joyce, Beverly, Stuart. How are you, sir? Nice and good. Soraya, my, Beth. I love seeing all these cameras on. Maybe I can sell them. Babs, how's it going? Beth. All right, who's excited to have the best year of their lives? Like, I can tell you this. My energy today is at like a 15. I normally come in high energy and excited, vibe, full of energy. What I've learned over the course of almost 20 years in real estate is business planning is like one of the greatest myths and scams that I've ever seen in my life. Because we all make these business plans, and then you know what happens? We never look at them again. So, what kind of plan is it if you never revisit it, you never follow it, and you don't actually have directions on how to use it? And then my next favorite thing that I learned is explain to me how you can build a 6 or 7 figure business in your life in an hour. Like, that's crazy. I will literally lock myself in my office for 12 to 14 hours, from like 8 o'clock in the morning till some weird hour at night. Drink lots of coffee, eat lots of good food, have music jamming. There'll be yellow post-it notes that generally cover the entire room as we map out your year next year, right? So I have some really cool things that we're working on to share with you. So everyone have a pen and a piece of paper. So I'm doing it a little bit differently this year. Normally I'll give you a PDF and you'll start filling out the PDF. But you know what happens when I give you the PDF? Everyone scrolls ahead, right? Who does that when they get a booklet? So you're not getting anything, like literally nothing. I'm going to guide you through this and we will give you a template, right, to work on. So here's our roadmap for today. Number one, we are going to work. So be here for 2 hours. If you have to get coffee, you have to get coffee. But here's the thing. You made a promise to yourself and you blocked the time to be here for 2 hours, right? Please do not answer the phone for your clients. Like, don't do it. Like, this is a really important thing for you, right? They say in a plane, you have to put your own mask on first. Well, this is it, right? Because here's the thing. If you were out on a 2 hour showing with a client and the phone rang, would you answer it? No. So this is the number one thing that I want to start off by saying. You need to treat the promises to yourself the same way if you're out with a client. If you're out with a client, you're not doing any of the stuff you do. You're not looking at your text. You're not going on Instagram. You're not going on TikTok, YouTube, checking your email, answering the phone every time it rings. So what we need to do is look inward and understand why is it that we can't have basic impulse control, because that's what it is, right? When our clients call us. Because the last time I checked, oh my God, my seller's calling. Oh, that's right. You don't have a contract with your seller. Yeah, I do. I go, no, you don't. Then you realize they can't fire you if you don't answer the phone. Now, the second part to this, and write this all down, right? High level point number one. When your clients call you and you don't answer the phone, it's your only opportunity to really learn what you did not do right in your business. Does that make sense? I need this update. Great. Now I can work backwards to understand where my promises fell short. It's like go on vacation, turn your phone off for a day and see what all the stuff that comes up. It's the only way to improve your business. So here's what we're going to do. Did any of you remember when I did the visualization exercise with all of you? Some, maybe. I can't go through a lot of people have their cameras on. Actually, no, we have one full screen of cameras on today. Sorry. So it's 2, 4, 5, 5, 10, 15, 25 of you. Thank you. Well, I'm going to do a visualization exercise to really set and anchor in your mind what we're doing. And I'm actually, like we talked about with the I am statements and everything else, I'm literally going to program your subconscious mind to start dreaming in the future and anchoring in that feeling. Then we're going to go through our entire plan, right? So I'm going to show you something that we've been working on. And I cannot tell you how many hours and days and weeks and months this took. So you want to see something really cool for all of you for next year? Let's check this out. So remember how we're always talking about like building our skills and what we need to practice and what that looks like. But we all don't know, where do we get started? How do we practice? What does mastery look like, right? Because this is where all the money is. So check out what we had made for you. Second. Oh, Jesus. Can you all see my screen? So for both the buyer experience and the seller experience, we made you these skill guides, right? So they'll tell you how to use the time, how to use the guide, your daily skill, your daily time blocks. And then we broke this all down to you in 6 months, right? Learning one skill a week and what mastery looks like. So it goes from week month one, pre-qualifying buyers, the magic question, the pre-pitch phone call, logging data into your CRM, and it goes all the way down. This is everything, right? And then, sorry, I have OCD. You get to the bottom, you have a whole entire checklist here. Pretty cool, right? So that's the buyer one. And here's the seller one. Same thing. All the way down. Like, look, it is the time that we've reached in our business, in our lives. What pop-ups? Someone's getting pop-ups. It's a time in our business and our lives that we really own our skill sets and really learn our business. Anyone that is not doing this next year will lose money, 100%. Because here's the thing, and we've talked about this ad nauseum this year, is that if you can't clearly communicate what you do in the context of what somebody else wants, they're never going to want to pay you the full money that you deserve, because you're going to be in misalignment with expectations, or it's going to be confusing, right? The second part is, the best form of prospecting is a great client experience. We need to dial all of this in, right? Like we always talk about, if you're spending $500 a night in a hotel, your real estate experience really should be better than what they get at the Ritz-Carlton. But as you can see, if you're learning literally one thing a week and you're practicing it 5 days, 7 days in the week, and you're mastering it, it's going to take you 6 months to go through the entire process on one side. So if you committed to learning the entire thing, you're going to have to practice as much once a week throughout the year for both the buyer and the seller side to get it. Now, do I think some of these parts, like mastering a buyer consultation, you could do in a week? Absolutely not, right? But it's a framework to follow, right? It gives you structure. And I would not go to the next one till I was mastered the one before. And so now if you look at this in this infinite game concept, every single week, every single month, you're going to get better. Your conversions are going to get better. Your clients are going to have better experiences. You're going to get more referrals. You're going to get more free time, right? And then when you throw my favorite thing in, AI, into this mix, we're all going to move faster, smarter, more effectively than everyone else. Like, ask yourself this. Do you really see people teaching agents how to use AI in everything that they do? Hit yes or no. Let me see where you guys are. Nope. I'm telling you this. We literally have to say in our house sometimes now, all right, no more talking about ChatGPT today. Like that's it, right? But we use this in every single aspect of our lives. And I've realized in going through all these sessions now for I'm on my sixth rewrite of your programming for next year. Because every time I look at it, I'm like, oh, we need to add this. We need to change this. We need to have something better about this. We need to create a marketing center template on this. And now my last run is going through every single session and figuring out, if possible, how to add an AI integration and provide you all the prompts like we did with the buyers and the collection. So it's easy to do. Because my goal always has been to help you build a business that fits into your life, right? So now I want everyone, now is the visualization portion of today, right? So I want to play a video for you to start out with. And when the music starts, right? So I'm going to want you to close your eyes, but everyone to start off, everyone take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale out through your mouth. Now, in the next one, I want you to breathe in all your fears, your doubts, your worries, your anxiety. Breathe them in. And when you're breathing them out, blow out really hard and picture all of that stuff releasing out of your body. Ready? Breathe it in. Breathe it out. And as you're breathing it out, keep going. And as you're breathing it out, feel yourself releasing all your fears, doubts, worries, anxieties, uncertainty around the market, losing presentations, right? So it's gonna be this will take like 5 minutes and then we'll get into it. But I do this with professional football players I work with, and many of them say this was their favorite part of the 5-day workshop. And they're like, this is crazy. I don't know how you do this, but I literally went through time from the time I picked up my football to the future that I haven't created yet. So I'm going to walk you through all of that now. And I remember the last time I did this year, I got like 25 emails that saying, can you record this so we can listen to it every day? Right. So here's one of my favorite songs, Daydream, and listen to her story. And instead of going right into the song, the reason I wanted to share the story with you is that everyone hits this point in their life where they have stuff that they're going through, right? That there's just challenges that we're facing. And I think it's very representative of the year that we went through. This, I believe, has been the craziest year ever in real estate, outside of like any economic collapse. But at least with the collapse, you knew what it was, right? You had interest rates, inflation, like different wars and things that were starting, different economic policy, the threat of the NAR settlement happening, right? Like it was a lot. Let's take this song in and let's set the tone, and then we're going to get to work. You ready?
My mom was diagnosed with cancer, and I became her full-time caretaker. I lost my record deal during that, but I think maybe it was a bit of a blessing because it gave me some extra time to really be there for her.
Is she okay?
No, she passed away.
I'm sorry, Lily.
It's okay. I really told myself I wasn't going to cry.
It's all right.
She was my biggest cheerleader, and...
Lily, I have to ask you this. Are you okay to do this audition?
I don't know how I'm going to be able to make it through a song without crying. But, you know, singing was something my mom and I really connected with, and it's how I fell in love with music in the first place, her playing music in the car. So I'm just trying to make her proud and continue to live my daydream.
Good for you!
All right, close your eyes, everybody. And just listen to my voice and follow the thought.
Okay, well, best of luck. We're rooting for you, Lily.
I want you to close your eyes and imagine the day you realize that you're going to get into real estate. When your life is filled with excitement, joy, enthusiasm, and you believe you have freedom, flexibility, limitless income. That dreamer in you was alive, and you saw yourself helping buyers and sellers and people achieve the dream of being home. Say you got your license, how exciting it is. You got your first business start, the first time you log into the MLS, the first time you set up a shop, family out for a new home, the times that you saw the joy and excitement in these eyes, and everything was exciting. Then all of a sudden, time started setting in. That child in you that was just dreaming and dreaming, that had that daydream of this career, this business, the life, the possibilities, and realized that this life could be anything you wanted it to be. I want you to feel that emotion, hold on to it and anchor it. That excitement is where we're all going to get 25. It's what makes you nervous, it's what makes you worth it. It's those dreams, that excitement, that fear, that passion, everything that makes you who you are. Just step into the stage and realize in this moment, that's so serious, fail to try that we need to make this massive shift. And we need to step into our power, step into our greatness, and believe that anything we want is possible. It starts in our heart, it starts in our belief. We need to get back to that daydream. Now, I want you to daydream that you're stepping into 2025, that you know that you are the standard, that your thoughts, your beliefs, your actions, your habits, your systems, your structures are all in place. What does that look like as you're getting closing after closing, buyer after buyer, seller after seller, smiles, the joy, the happiness? Who are you, who are you sharing it with? What does that feel like? Now, I want you to put yourself in a mental state where everything that you want has already happened. Where are you? Who are you sharing it with? I want you to feel the wind on your skin, the smell in the air, the people that you're around, the love, excitement that you have the space to share everything you have with the people that you love. Now, I need you to hold on to this moment and the emotion and never let it go. And understand that you can be bigger than your thoughts, your worries, and your present beliefs. And as you step into next year, you're going to hold on to this dream and you're going to fight for it every day. You're going to read this in your I am statement. And anytime that you feel lost, you're going to go back to this magic moment and know that your life is meant to be created on your own terms. Life is meant to be lived, and our life is filled with joy, abundance, and happiness. And that you're going to open your eyes and we're going to build the best year of your life. So take one more breath in through your nose. And as you exhale, step into your 2025. Welcome to the best year of your life. Now, you see, if you look at yourself, you're the author of your own story. You could be the hero, the victor, or the victim. But when we realize that we have this pen, we're in 100% control. That the things around us can't impact us because we're living in that present state. And that's what we're fighting for every day. Who here felt something great that they connected with in that moment? Right? And I play this song every single day, right? In fact, my girlfriend actually asked me, can you please not listen to that song right before we go to bed? I'm like, why not? She's like, you need to be wind down. She's like, you get out of the shower, you're like, yeah, dreams, right? Like, this is like, if you listen to this and then you go to your I am the standard, I am statement and read it over and over and over again, and you're connecting that emotion. See, there's a thing called anchoring. When you could visualize something and you put emotions to it and you could build a positive emotion to something new you're doing, you're much more likely to do it. Now, people ask me all the time, how did I learn how to do this? I don't know. It just felt right, like many of the things that we do. Right? So, all right, let's get into making our plan. So, you know, the first thing we all have to do is we need to see ourselves. Right? So here's what I want you to do. Write this down. What is motivating you to make 2025 the best year of your life? What's motivating you to make 2025 the best year of your life? And if anyone wants to share, they can share. If you want me to share, you can write you. I'm happy to share as well. It's a two-way dialogue. I'm on the same floor as everybody here. What's motivating you, right? Remember, motivation stands for motive to act. So what is driving you every single day to make this the best year of your life?
For me, I just want to have some fun and be happy.
Hell yeah.
I mean, it's pretty simple, and I would love to be able to be mortgage free. So if I had those three things for 2025, I win.
So ready? She started with the motivation. So what are you most excited about happening? The result is being mortgage free. right? Like, and happy. That's
Mhm.
it. Like, we don't need these overcomplicated statements, right? Like, what's motivating you? What's making you get out of bed every day to make this the best year of your life? And when you do those things, what are you most excited about happening as a result?
You know, I also feel like the level of stress since I've started with your coaching has really gone away in more organization and clarity. If I'm not ready to pick up the phone, I can't listen. And that's what you taught me. If you're not listening, people are going to know.
Yeah.
And it's so happiness is and mortgage free are my thing.
Clarity is king.
Hmm.
Like, look, I want when everyone is writing what they're motivating to do, there's someone here writing this. I'm gonna do everything and all of it. Like, if you write those words, you write equal, I'm not gonna do anything because that's overwhelming. Stop with the everything and all. Like, please. How many years have people wrote everything and all? Gonna do it all this year. And then the year comes and you're disappointed because if you look at our list, there's 6 months of learning one skill a week. That's a lot while you're doing your life, your business, right? Now, the next one is, what are your expectations of yourself? I can give you 3 expectations. If you follow these expectations, you'll make as much money as possible. You want to know what they are? Listen, follow directions, and keep the promises I make to myself, which is AKA your calendar. That's it. All right. Now I want all of us to share this in the chat, right? And I'll start out first by being open and vulnerable. Is that cool with all of you? What are my disappointments from 2024, right? Number one, trying to give and do too much without focusing on organizing it, making it easier for you like we have going into next year, right? Overloading my schedule to the place where I'm taking away from my family and I'm like not here, not there. And number 3, my disappointments were in the first time in, I don't know, 6, 7 years, not prioritizing my health. Those are my 3 disappointments. What are your disappointments? Right? Put them in chat. Let's all be honest and open here. I'm not following my business plan. I bet you there are a lot of people that could write not looking at my business plan after I wrote one. Time management, not clearing the crap out of my mind, not following through. We have 5 brave people. 6, I lost market share in the building I do too much business in. Allowing bad management within Compass to affect me. Oof. Not following through. Not prioritizing my health. I'm with you there. Here it comes. Dropped all my processes. I let others control my mindset. Not taking action unless a process thought seemed perfect. Perfectionism. Not focusing on health. Not getting my systems in place. Failing to control distractions. Working too much and not smarter. Not prioritizing my health and personal boundaries. Missed client sales opportunities. Dropping movement down to the list of my priorities. I like that, Andrew. You're going to sign up for that yoga class. I'm going to bug you about it.
We got Apple Fitness and we did it last night together. So
Perfect.
baby steps.
Giving too much to my business that I had nothing left for my family. Yeah. Trying to be perfect and not doing anything. Not consistent. You know what the best form of prospecting is? Consistency. Do you know what the best form of role playing is? Consistency. Do you know what the best form of anything is? Consistency. Abby launching in 2 markets, right? Not sustaining 2 markets at the level of success I wanted. So look, I wanted us to all share this together so that we can all see that nobody has it figured out. I talked to another one of our great community members, and she was saying, like, I just feel off. And I said, believe me, let me tell you something. I work with some of the most successful agents in America. Their stuff is all messed up too. And some of them are even more messed up than most normal people are, right? Like, no one has this really figured out, because the part is that I really want to press upon you is everyone is just telling you more, right? I can do this and do that and do. What about the foundation? You cannot build a foundation on something that's fluid. And the reality is most of our things are fluid. Socrates says, if you're not happy with what you have, you'll never be happy when you have more. And what I'm saying to all of you is, if you can't be happy with what you have, if you were happy with what you have and had, you'd have more today, right? Like just the opportunities, the time that we've had, the way that we can grow. But if you're only focused on getting more, you're going to lose everything that you have. There is no family second. Like, anyone can die or get deathly ill tomorrow. And there's one thing I promise you, you don't want to live with, and that's regret. Right? So think about this. We have a system. We have the skills. We have the work. We put it in marketing center. We've done all the things for you. If you can show up 1 to 2 times a week next week for a session, go to the accountability groups and implement the stuff, that is the minimal. It's like 2 hours a week plus the practice time. We spend more time on our cell phones, for God's sakes, right? And the last one is concerns. What concerns do you have of yourself? Being too easily distracted, not following to my plans, burning out, not being disciplined. What are your concerns? Drop them in the chat. Too timid. Not disciplined. Inconsistent. Not having strong motivation. Overwhelmed by trying to accomplish too much. Consistently doing the work. My health just came out of the hospital. Easily distracted. All of the ones you mentioned. Distracted. Not following through with my plan. Lack of discipline. Time management. Time flies by for me. Failure. All right, Martha, I want to address the failure, right? So all of you know that things do happen here, right? I will always use myself as a person to share with you that I don't care if I'm a coach. I don't care if some people think I'm the greatest coach in America. I'm a human like all of you, but here's the thing. If things aren't breaking, things aren't breaking, things aren't breaking, things aren't failing, things aren't going wrong, you're not pushing your capacity hard enough, right? It's the only way to know. And who's here has been at Compass from like 2018 and on, right? Who's been here a long time? Hit yes in the chat. How many 5+ years of Compass agents do we have here? A bunch. How many things have you seen happen here that have not gone well and had to be fixed and had to be improved and everything else? They built this tech platform from nothing. Do you think Robert was afraid of failing? No, he was more afraid of not hitting his goal, right? So like perfectionism and all this thing, I call it getting ready to be ready. Bless you, Andrew. So you have to, I'm always watching with the cameras and your eyes and what you're all doing. So like you have to look at yourself and realize that if you only fail, Martha, is if you quit. If not, it's a lesson. And as I share to my team, when things go wrong, I'm never upset that something went wrong. Unless somebody called you and said something really bad, right? Or lack of emotional intelligence, or like someone had an appointment canceled and no one even wrote them an email. They just said cancel in the calendar. Like that, I'm going to be visually upset about because people shouldn't be treated that way. But outside of that, just don't make the same mistake twice. What's the lesson you learned and move forward? But again, you have to be looking at your business and where things went wrong to improve and build it into the process. Now, if you have a sales process, which we all do, you can go back and say, okay, great. Like I should have explained this with clarity. I should have put this on the calendar. I could have followed up with my client better, like all of those different things. But in the end, we live and die with our calendars, correct? And they're a work in progress. That's why I always tell you, and nobody does this, I know it. Is there anyone that does the 10-minute business plan every day? Anybody? Nope. 3 questions to change your life. What income producing activities did I do today? How did I create new revenue that didn't exist today? What distractions got in the way? And what will I do differently tomorrow? If you do that at the end of the day and read it before you start your job the next morning, you'll win next year. Because your distractions will get eliminated because subconsciously we're all competitive, right? What income producing activities did I do today? What distractions got in the way? And what will I do differently tomorrow? I hope you all can hear and understand that we've built one system around mindset, performance, and tactics. And all you have to do, like I said, listen, follow directions, and keep the promises to yourself, and your business will go up. And write this down on a piece of paper. It is an annual business, an annual business. So if like something isn't going well a month or two, like look at it, make the adjustments and keep going. Don't hit abandoned cart. All right. So we all good on our personal med C? Now, the next thing I want you all to do, and this is an exercise, is a calendar review, right? When we talk about doing those Sunday planning sessions, right? Where you look at your business plan, or at least the goals section, then you look at your calendar. Are all the activities that you need to reach your goal in your calendar? So look at your calendar. What is in your calendar today? And what do I need to put in my calendar to reflect my goals? Many times I'll hear agents in initial like coaching meetings, what are your goals? Like this goal, this goal, this goal, good goal. Great. Do you mind sharing your screen? Yeah, sure, Chirag. What do you want me to do? Can I see your calendar? Look at the goals. Look at the calendar. And it takes about 90 seconds to realize why somebody isn't hitting their goals. Are any of you tracking your conversion rates on buyer consultations and listing presentations? Anybody? It's a business. You have to run your business like a business, right? So that is an important metric, right? If you're looking at that metric, then you could look at your calendar where the practice is in presentation objection handling. Right? So everyone take 3 minutes right now and just look at their calendar. We're doing really good on time because, again, I'm excited. We have 2 hours to actually write stuff, do stuff, know our business. This is what real business planning is. First, it's a reflection in. It's not about filling out some stupid piece of paper with a bunch of numbers that have no emotional anchors or thoughts or logic and be like, all right, guys, I did it. I got my plan. I got my plan. I got my business plan done. And nothing happens. So look at your calendar now. And I want you to look at it and write some takeaways. Now the holidays might be different. Go back a couple months. Three minutes. So 12:05, we'll stop at 12:08. And Amanda, the calls will be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday at 11:30. And we are aligning with Martha, Jody, Brad, and Cherish to figure out the supplemental accountability session times. But we're really excited because they're going to have all the materials and our guidance, mine and David's, on how to reinforce what you learned in the main session. And then how you can all get role play partners. All right, everyone take a couple minutes and go ahead. and write down what your key takeaways are and what's missing, and also what's working well. All right, one more minute, everybody. One more minute. All right. So share in the chat, a couple people, what were your aha moments from looking at your calendar? Did everyone, let's be honest, are all our goals reflected in our actions in our calendar? Nope. It's the small things done consistently, right? Babs, my observation when looking at my calendar equals if it's not scheduled, it didn't happen. Yep. So look, as a salesperson, right? Coaching should be in your calendar. Lead generation should be in your calendar. Lead follow-up should be in your calendar. Going on appointments should be in your calendar, right? Charlie, unsubscribe from all of those things. Just hit delete all, right? Like if you're in our community, this is the only coaching that you need because all of the Compass stuff is integrated, right? So when Compass One client dashboard comes out, I'm going to make all of our own training and I'm going to give it to you, right? Three-phase marketing. We have our own assets and our own stuff that we're going to give to you. Make Me Move. We're going to come out with all the stuff. We're going to give it to you. All the other tools exist and we have a way of giving it to you, right? There's nothing you have to do but listen, follow directions, and keep the promises to yourself. Everything else we want to do for you. Andrew, what's so funny over there?
Sorry, so
What?
you know I'm a first-time puppy owner, and he just went out to piddle, and I have a small little heater, and he lifted his leg, which he doesn't do yet, to dry himself off in front of the heater.
Jesus. So Sean, not enough time
Sorry.
dedicated to working on the system, right? Is we're giving you the system. You don't need to work on the system, right? You just need to follow each step. That's it, right? So if everyone could realize like you have everything you need here. Every email template, every script, every objection handling, community, people, right? Like Chris Smith and I have our AI coach where the tech platform on it is insane, right? And it'll be done before Q1. Our sprint is in January. Our AI conversational tool, your accountability leaders are getting it this week. I should be able to show you something on this call of what it looks like, hopefully. But all of these things are done. The marketing integration, right? The majority of, if not all of it, will be done by January 7th. So your buyer consultation, your listing presentation, all of these things will be in there. So you have everything that you need. So the question is just looking inward. Why would you ever spend time and money building this stuff yourself when it could just be given to you and you can just use it, right? So let's go into the next section of the plan. Growth opportunities. What areas of your business challenge you the most and where do you want to see an immediate improvement? So let's think about this, right? I don't know. Someone just said it's quiet in here. Can you all hear me? Okay. So what areas do you need improvement? We need to start with one thing, right? And generally, is it pre-qualifying it? Pre-qualifying it? Is it pre-qualifying it? Is it pre-qualifying it? Pre-qualifying, Jesus, right? Is it pre-qualifying? Is it your consultations? Is it showing up, showing properties effectively, recaps, sharing, showing feedback, handling certain objections? So for everyone that's putting lead generation, all you have to do is go to the lead generation track and do the work that we tell you to do, and it'll cover all of your lead generation, and it'll be 5 days worth of stuff for you to do. We'll provide you templates, text templates, emails, all that good stuff. The lead generation stuff is next year, but in our platform, I can read this to you. In digging through all of our stuff, my team had said to me the other day, I have 121 email templates and I have 98 or so scripts, right? There's an obscene amount of stuff we have. And, you know, while you all are powering down by the end of the year, we're redoing our entire platform to make all this stuff easier for you to find. So the first thing is you want to identify where you're challenged the most and immediate impact. And immediate impact is like, what can I do today? And where do I really want to focus my time, my energy, and my resources to create an immediate ROI? Like where is the instant transformation, right? So we know if you're working with a buyer, if you can do the Med-C, ask the magic question, and highlight how this whole collections process works and show the personalized comments, and start asking the people, hey, if you go on Zillow, were you able to find this kind of insight? No. What about on Redfin? What about on, like, no. And it's like, it organically gets them to the place of, yep, I need to work with you, right? So now here's the next question. What's missing to grow and scale your business, right? Like identify that. And that thing that you identify is the thing that you need to consistently show up in your schedule. What's missing? And now the next one is, just like we did in the visualization exercise, you need to really, in detail, describe the next level of your business, right? That it's operating on a system, that every client feels communicated with, you stop getting called, like build the world that you want to work into and keep going back to that because you're programming, again, your mind to be able to get there. right? We just went through the I am statement, but we'll put a section in here on that. But remember, you want to write down a statement. I am the standard, right? And you want to write your why, which is the reason you do what you do, your purpose, the deep connection, and what's really motivating you. What are you doing it for? And remember, money is an okay answer to that. It's fine. If you're motivated by money, that's great. If you're not motivated by money, that's great. But just don't show up with somebody that has commission breath that people would say is motivated by money. You know, the air and heartbeat to a business is also revenue, right? You don't operate a 529C non-for-profit foundation. Right now, here's one of my other favorite sections. What has not worked? What did you do this year that did not work? What are the failures? Like, what just didn't happen, right? So if you think about it, I'm not consistent with past client outreach because I feel uncomfortable about what I have to say. The solution, block time and practice what you want to say, review notes and make outreach calls, right? Create a visible KPI reminders for accountability. Think about, like, put that KPI number we talk about, the daily, weekly, monthly cost of your business, your life, and annually, and be like, wow, it costs this much money for me to be on earth each day. And tie that to your calls, right? That's a powerful anchor. All right, so now I'm going to pause. What questions does anyone have up until this point? Key performance indicator, Margie.
Chirag, I have a question.
Yep.
You give tons of information, and I find it very hard to capture, to go back and reflect on these questions. Is there an outline or something that you have? Because you've given so much.
Yes, we're going to give you an outline to do, but I didn't want to give you the outline today because one, I need you to think about this without thinking ahead because everyone scrolls. Two, I want to give you a few days to internalize all of this, maybe make any kind of adjustments, and then I'll give you a nice, pretty form that you could fill in.
All right. I just want to share with you that people like me who need to reflect on it, if I didn't write the question down fast enough, I don't have enough to reflect, right?
Also, we have this new little thing that creates amazing notes that will attach to this recording.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. And the nice part is with, and I encourage all of you to check out this technology, fathom.video. It also allows you to click a button and go back to little key sections in the video based on the highlights. So we found it as a much more effective way of being able to provide you information after a session. How do we spend enough time focusing on the business when client tasks take so much time from day to day? Amanda, unmute yourself.
Hi, here I am.
How are you?
Good.
So look,
How are you?
The first section for anyone like you is number one, look at the screen time section of your phone and see where you can find some time. Number two, when you follow a system consistently, these tasks will go less and less because here's the thing. If you're not accounting for all the things and being proactive about it, you're getting pelted with reactive phone calls. Where's this? Where's this? What about this? I need to confirm this appointment. It just keeps happening, right? And in the new world we live in, when you could have ChatGPT learn a buyer in a thread, insert the property, it pulls out all the information, everything will get more and more efficient, right? Then also the other part is everyone should be building a business model for the future, meaning we all should have lists of what did I do today that I could have paid somebody else to do. So eventually when you hire a VA or someone that can help you, you have a list of things that you need to do. And also when you start categorizing all these things that are unplanned, that take too much time, you know where in the system you need to go back and really focus on, because this system is built for scaling, right? Not growth of just more time for money and frustration and burnout. So it gets easier in time.
So you're saying, let me recap so I make sure I understood. You're saying the using AI to help, how does the AI come in? Sorry.
We did a session, I believe it was last week or the week before, how to train AI to know exactly what your buyer wants. And then you can put the property in that you're picked in the collections, and it'll create personalized comments. Now you have to check it, but at least 80 to 90% of click, 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 write this, think of this, everything else. It'll even write the email for you if you want.
Okay, got it. So using that to spend kind of less time on or be more efficient with time on client communications and such, and effectiveness. And then also you're saying have systems like that, my systems will improve, right? With each, if I'm really paying attention every day on how I can systematize tasks that I'm doing. Are those some of the points you made?
Yeah, but also you don't need to systemize everything. You just need to look at the system and the checklist we get and focus more on implementing it and really getting it to a place you're comfortable with.
Okay. Okay, thanks.
And the other one is Miriam. I underestimated how much time thing takes, right? Well, we also want to get present how long it takes to do things, right? So if you set a 30-minute time block and it takes longer, real estate is a redundant set of ongoing tasks of the same things for different people with just a unique situation. So start becoming present to that fact. Does that make sense, Miriam? All right. Anyone else have any questions? We're about to hit the 1 hour mark and you all are doing great. Do you all feel, and hit yes or no, that you actually have a mental foundation for next year and how to set yourself up for success and how to at least think through your business? And if it's a no, it's a no, right? Like, right, yes or no. For a couple of those that hit no, the first part starts with self-reflections, right? If you've looked at the first part of this, it's visualizing the future as we want to create it. It's taking an internal look at our motivations, our expectations, our disappointments, our concerns to really understand where we are and where we're going. It's looking at your calendar to understand where the gaps are, right? It's understanding where our opportunities are for growth. What are the things we need to do right away to create the most impact? Right? Beverly, you're not alone in this because it was a year of constant adjustments. And I feel with technology and everything else, it's going to continue to evolve that way. So like you can figure it out on your own, or you can just have us give it to you and you can just listen, follow directions, keep the promises you make yourself. And either one's 100% okay. Fourth one is looking inward and understanding why something didn't work, right? Whether it's not enough time, being able to think through it differently, approach our business differently, really use systems. If you use the system, it'll produce what it's meant to produce. But just remember this and write this down. You can't scale custom. Custom is not scalable. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Not every real estate transaction is custom. It's still the same process. They're different parts based on the situation, and all deals have problems. And understanding challenge, solution, and action item and alignment. Sound good for everybody? Now, I love that, Beth. Now look, leveling up your skills, right? The first thing you want to do, custom is not scalable. Custom is not scalable. If you have a custom suit business, you're one by one by one by one. There's no scale. There's no delegation. Like it's custom. Everything is unique. Now, here's the most important part for you to grow and earn more money. Skill development, right? So here's my question. How many skills do you want to develop in a quarter? Write it down. I want to develop blank skills. Now, when you say you want to develop skills, you want to get them to a place that you're a master at them, that you could speak about them better than I can. And if you're not really good at doing this, set yourself a realistic goal. Right? Remember that part of like what areas of my business I need to improve and what areas not going well? These are directly related to skills. 100%. And I hope you're starting to see now how all of these things click together. How many skills? Put it in the chat. Six. That's ambitious. So there's 12 weeks. You're going to master one skill every other week. So look, now it's attention, retention, repetition, right? Attention, I hear it once. Retention, I go to an accountability group and I practice with other people. And then repetition is I'm practicing every day with role play partners. You'll never be good at anything you don't practice, right? So Jennifer, how does your brand being you translate into a quantifiable skill you could practice? A lot of skills are how we say something, how we communicate something, or how we do something.
Well, I
Right?
also, I'm so sorry to cut you off because I know I have so much to learn and that's something I'm trying to work on. But what I meant was I've been trying to figure out who I am as a person and a brand, and that's really a big thing I'm trying to work on, like to understand it. You know, I've been doing this 4 years now, and I think that's always a big hurdle. And I feel like in some ways it may be changing, but I feel more comfortable now. So that's something in 2025 I'm trying to solidify so I can put it across everything I do. Like be consistent, not I should be this or I should be this. It's no, this is what I am and this is how I do business. So I don't think about it and it's there. It's something I really identified in 2024 that I think it's being comfortable with yourself. Like I bitch and moan about you sometimes in my own head. I have no problem saying that here. But even today and last week, my real motivation is to get out of my fucking way. And I really appreciate all you do because it's been very painful, but very real. And I feel like this is what coaching is for me. It's making me better, but I have to get out of my way because I always think I can do it better. I apologize for that.
Actually, no, I think that's something everyone needs to hear. Who here needs to get out of their own way? Be honest. All hands need to go up, right? You got to remember this. Your brain is built for certainty and comfort, which says stay the way you are. Why would you try anything new? Growth comes with friction. No friction, no growth, right? Like like Kobe Bryant says, I don't understand lazy people, right? I don't understand people that tell me, oh, I've heard this, I have all this information, I'm going to implement it. If you're not doing it with us and with the community of your peers, the statistical probability of doing it on your own is very, very low. You're going to try, you're going to download a bunch of stuff, there's not going to be structure, and then you're just going to go to hear something new. And the wheel just continues, right? If I have one mantra for 2025 in everything for our community and in our company and in all areas of my life, it's going deep and it's not going wide. Like if I could candidly admit to all of you, I think the biggest mistake I've made in the last 4 years is going too wide, too fast, and not going deep. So now all of our efforts are on fixing that, right? And in the end, we'll walk you through what their accountability system and what going deep really looks like for 2025, right? So we need to get really clear. So let me read off some of these skills so you can actually understand what it is. If you're working with a buyer, it's the Med C. It's the magic question. It's the pre-pitch phone or video conversation. It's putting in the data after a consultation, right? It's understanding how to utilize this. Remember, you can listen, you can listen to take notes, you can listen to respond, but if you're doing both, 2 out of the 3, you're not listening at all. It's using technology, everybody, right? Do you know how easy it is to take this and stick it into ChatGPT and summarize an entire meeting and send it to somebody 5 minutes after they leave your office? And they're like, whoa, right? We all want to be seen, heard, and connected with on our own terms. Remember, they're buying a service, which means a service you expect it to cater to you. Now, think about this logically, right? For those of you who join as individuals, it's less than $10 a day, right? Over the course of a year, correct? What are your expectations of Chirag Shah Coaching for something that costs less than $10 a day? Now, think about this, right? We all need to be true to who we are. Now, think about what your expectations of yourself are when the minimum transaction in most markets is around $500,000, which is not even the average price point in Compass, and just assume they're only paying you 2%, right? Which is almost triple what you pay here. Are you holding yourself to the same standards as your expectations on what you have when you make your own investment? Think about that, right? Reviewing collections. How well can you review the comments of a collection to really show people that experience of how well you get to know them, right? Remember, home is where you build memories. The community is where your life happens. We want to share how to have your perfect lifestyle in Westport, Connecticut, right? Positioning your value once you understand what they want, right? All of the things we offer are tools in our tool belt. And you only pull out the tools that you need based on what they want. So positioning your value, talking about off-market properties, right? Developing a communication plan, customizing your presentation, reviewing their ideal lifestyle, the Compass Advantage, dealing with their numbers, right? Securing mutual commitments and highlighting what happens next. It's getting signed agreements, right? Scheduling and confirming tours, collecting and organizing feedbacks, the recaps. You know, how do you position their offer in the market? Writing an offer, negotiating an offer, the inspection and appraisal process, the closing process, right? Making that calendar, meeting them once a week. And then how do you get in touch with them after? These are all skills that we need to master. I don't know about you, but who here thinks that's a lot of stuff? So what makes you think that you could learn all of this in a day, a week, a month, or even a year? It is an ongoing progression. Every great athlete or performer has a coach and they work on their craft over and over and over and over every single day. I always say this to people. I remember when I was talking about Compass Concierge, right? Great meeting in New York City on the Upper East Side, great energy and everything else. They go, so who here is going to do this? One person raised their hand. I think if you know me well enough, I was pretty pissed off. And I said, do you know what I wish I could do? I go, who here has a son or daughter? And the majority of them raise your hands. Who here would mind giving me their phone number? One person blurts out, what the hell do you want my kid's number for? Right? It's New York City. Agents are very direct. I said, simple. So I could call your kid, tell them to go to work and show them what a hypocrite you are and that you're full of shit. Right? That you tell them to go to practice, you tell them to do their homework, you tell them to follow their schedule, you tell them to do their chores every day, and you go to work and you mess around on your phone, you can't follow a calendar, you don't want to practice every day, but you need to support a whole family and you're going to be great. I wish I could get everyone's kids to go to work and stand behind them because you'd be following that calendar like this because you're afraid of what they would think about you and they've never followed what you do. Right. So can I share a personal story with you guys? So we were we as a family like to do the Big Ass Calendar Club. If you haven't checked it out, it's from Jesse Itzler. Is that it's planning out your entire year, right? So what he's saying is like quarterly, you want to develop one new habit, right? So we're sitting in the car yesterday and we're driving to church and we asked our kids, actually, no, this was on the way back. On the way there. No, on the way there. And we started talking about quarterly habits and what they think they should do. And then my partner and I asked, we said, well, before we share what we think, what's your perspective? Right? It's really interesting, right? My son goes, I think both of you should spend less times on your screen and your cell phones. Oh, interesting, right? And I think I'm pretty good about this, but apparently not. So then at the end of it, we're like, yeah, detox feels like you're coming off of something. So my girlfriend, she says, we should have a fasting day for cell phones where it's like a day that you don't use technology and how much you could get done, right? Then we asked our daughter what she thought, and she's like, we could get better of like preparing for the next day before, because sometimes on the weekend we start our days later because we might not have our clothes laid out or exactly what we're doing and everything else. And a habit of being ready the day before on like non-work days. She says, Daddy, you have everything done the day before for work, but we should do this in the house. I'm like, interesting, right? Same thing for all of us. If your kids came to school and your kid said, well, I want to be great at basketball, but I think I could just practice on my own, right? Like I don't need the coach or the practice or the structure anymore. What are you going to say? So I want all of us to go into next year to say, take the same advice we did our kids. Beverly, you're not alone here either, right? I think the one thing I realized that I really love the most, there are 100+ of you here that are committed to having the best year of your life. There are 12 people that dropped off that maybe had a personal emergency, but maybe they don't share the same commitments as you, right? Let's go through the whole seller side, right? The Med C, the 7 keys to effective conversations, the pre-pitch phone call or video conversation, putting the data in our CRM, the way that we create collections as a CMA and comps and provide our unique market insights, right? Building those custom marketing calendars, the communication plan, preparing our equity protection plan, presenting the Med C summary, the way that we do the home tour, explaining our marketing plan, Compass 3-phase marketing, the way that we share the listing and we launch it, right? Like the open house process, reviewing offers and inspections, showing feedback, coordinating the closing and post-closing CRM updates. And there's so many different things within that. How do we document our client objections? Look, everybody, the business is not going to change, and either you could choose to change it for yourself or the world's going to choose them for you. Anyone have questions about skills before we start talking about money? No? We're good? Look, I want you all to, like a pressure cooker, let go of the pressure that you have to learn everything so fast. If you really learn just one thing at a time, you got to realize the confidence is what creates the momentum. But if you're learning 4 things at once that none of them are going well, like you're not going to want to do anything. Your brain's going to check out because it's going to be disappointing. So take another look. Right? We're finalizing these lists as this is the list that our curriculum is going to be built off for next year, right? It's, I would say 90% complete, but there's still like a lot of little nuances that have to tie it together. If you all just want like that simple checklist of like the bullet points, yeah, we're happy to provide those as well. All right, so let's go to the next plan. Money. How many people do a great job of tracking their finances throughout the year? Yes or no? Hit it in chat. Mixed reviews. All right. So Remember I told you I wanted to run your business like a business, and one of my main goals was teaching you how to be a CEO of your business? You can make decisions on facts or feelings, right? Every time I say this, I always think of Kate Bauer because this is where this all began. And there are two things you need to know. And like, is we call this your core four. It's like one of the base fundamentals of our coaching philosophy. Now, if you look at your core four, the first one is sourcing your business. Where does your business come from? How many people can tell me in detail the sources of their business, where all their deals came from for 2025? Anybody? Yeah, Lisa, I know you're yes. Lisa has like the most detailed spreadsheets in the world. It is freezing cold in my office. Let me turn the heat up, bear with me. Now, the next question is, what percentage of your GCI comes from each source? That's where the money is, right? So even if you look at past clients, right? There's past client referrals, right? Like I'm Lisa's past client, and now I refer her Andrea. That's a past client referral, right? Now, the next one is past client repeat. Now, when we look at people's businesses and a high percentage of their income in any given year comes from repeat clients, you cannot count on that. So this is a number you constantly need to be revisiting every quarter to also up your prospecting, right? Open houses, Tori, what percentage comes from open houses? How many people have to come through an open house? How many conversations you have? How many of those lead to signed buyer consultations? And how many of them lead to closings? Then it's a mathematical equation, right? But here's the $1 million thing. Do you know how many people I've seen have one like huge source of business and they're like, I need to focus all my area on this? But then it only translates to 15% of their income. Right? So here's my question, right? Remember we talked about the calendar? How does the time align that you spend with the main four sources of your business? Right? So what we're looking to is to align our time, our money, and our resources with where all of our business comes from, right? I'll just use Lisa here. I don't know if she's working out or Lisa Munoz. Can you unmute yourself?
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
You're good. You're a good example for this. So Lisa, what percentage of your business comes from your past clients and centers of influence?
I know the numbers, but not the percentages. I guess we're 85%.
85%. So how many deals do you get out of your database every year, roughly?
Closed deals this year, we had just under 100, but we had about 170 folks come through wanting to buy, sell, or invest with us.
So here's how this works for Lisa, right? And I also work with Lisa individually in full transparency. So she asked me in our last coaching call, Chirag, we need to make a plan for these 70 people because she tracks everything, right? Like you have to measure what matters, right? Now, for these 100 people, do you have a pretty baked out annual experience of touch points, events, and gifts?
Yes, we do.
Do you have a budget, correct, for what you spend?
We do.
So this is what this actually looks like, right? Like there's a planned experience. And how far in advance do you plan out these experiences?
I mean, months. It's all set the year before. So Colby and I just worked through, the plan for 2025. But then, before an event, it's probably 3 or 4 months ahead of that to make sure that we can, like, I don't know, get people excited about the experience, and then we have the event, and then we have follow up after the event to take full advantage of what we're trying to do.
Now, who here wants that system, right? Like that, this is what we all should work towards, right? Thank you, Lisa. So you need to know your numbers to the place where you can make data-driven decisions. Now, what I know is when you go through the business, and this is our next part of this, is keep it or cut it. The majority of businesses are filled with just toxic waste and one-off spending, right? You go to a training, you hear something excited, I'm going to do this. And if you're not willing to do it, I would say if you're sending one postcard, you should send 12. I think there's 6 people at least on your team. Maybe it's nice to see you here. So if you think about this, right, do not, to be very clear, hit yes if you do geographic farming here. If you don't have a dialed in past clients, centers of influence system with client gifting and events, do not spend a freaking dollar on sending random postcards to strangers for thousands of dollars a month. Your database is the foundation to your business. Spend more time on like thoughtful gifts, right? You see something cool online. Do you know how many apps there are where you could take a picture that somebody shared on Instagram and like turn it into a photo, turn it into a frame, send a handwritten note, take somebody out for coffee? You remember, you have social capital. How many people are in our databases that you can connect together for a dinner that they're going to be happy? Do you know how many people I can connect all of you together with, right? Think about it. If several of you had great teams, right, that was doing a large transaction volume, and we were at an event and I took you out to dinner to connect you with Lisa and her system, how happy would you be? Because I have social capital within this network, right? So think about it. There's so many opportunities. Again, we have to get out of this idea of doing more. First, build the foundation, for God's sakes, of what you have, right? Now, does anyone want to know how to use ChatGPT on how to go through your finances? Hit yes if you do. I need like at least like 20 people. If I don't got 20 yeses, it means that no one wants to do it, which I find hard to believe. All right, so I could, let me see something. It's going to download one of my statements here. Bear with me here. There it is. All right. So you can go here, right? We're in ChatGPT 4.0 and I can hit upload from computer and I can just put a statement here, right? I need you to first analyze this statement and take your time to think and don't respond till you fully have done a detailed analysis of my spending so you can complete your next Ask. Please provide me a detailed breakdown on how I am spending money each month by categories and what you feel can be eliminated. See, it's still analyzing. Groceries, retail, entertainment. No, I'm not nervous about giving it the information. What's it gonna do with my information? The credit card number is blacked out. It's only the last 4 digits. I don't have any security and privacy concerns. I have more of a security of my concerns around on not knowing what to do with the data. See, what I want to share with you in this part is you can go here and ask it a bunch of questions, right? And then you could say, well, here's my business budget and here's what I want to stay into, right? You can use a PDF or a CSV file. So what I'm trying to highlight to all of you is there is no excuse anymore not to understand how you're spending money. There's not. So then you can keep further prompting the chat to understand like expense category, right? Like if it's lead gen, subscription, the monthly cost, number of leads, ROI, and then suggest what I should keep and what I should cut. You could further go through a chat and prompt it to understand like your business, where your business comes from, is my spending aligned, all of these different things. So if you want to go through and do this, I would go through and I would upload 12 months of my business statements, my credit card statements, and then say, based on this, and provide the same insight. You don't even need a bookkeeper to do this anymore. But this is where you go through keep it or cut it, right? Andrea?
Can you categorize your expenses for taxes by using this? As opposed to like just upload all that stuff and then my husband spends days and hours doing this crap. Could he ask chat?
Yeah, if you gave it a format to follow, absolutely. But what I would encourage you, there's 2 areas in life I always suggest people never try to save money: accountants and attorneys, right? If you have a really good tax planner, not a CPA, not an accountant, you will save 3, 4, 5x what you ever pay these people. Plus you get all the time back. There are a lot of great things I've done for people in my life, but anyone that uses this accountant that many of our clients use called Magic Joe, like Lisa was at one of our little one-on-one client retreats. Every person that was there was like, I want to meet you. Because what he knows how to do is magic. Right?
So I'm talking about instead of handing him a shoebox of crap, my husband spends hours.
Well, again, like good tax planners, right, for high income businesses, they'll run your QuickBooks for you and they'll categorize all your expenses. So
ChatGPT could do it.
Yeah, it can, but I would look, I use a tax planner. I'm not saying anyone needs to do what I do, but like it is a very efficient use of time and resources. And in the end, I'm more than happy with the results. But ChatGPT can do any of this, right? So now here's what I want you to do. Now, when you go through the ChatGPT, upload 12 months of your business statements, right? And ask ChatGPT, what is the daily, weekly, monthly, and annual cost to run my personal life? It'll give you a number based on 2024. Then you want to put all your business expenses in after that, right? And say, what's the daily, weekly, monthly, and annual cost to run my business? Then from there, you're going to want to ask, what are the combined totals? And you have the actual cost of money of what it costs for you to live every day as a person in your business, and really the cost of being on earth each day. And when you start looking at those numbers, you will quickly realize, holy shit, if I do nothing today, I'm losing a lot of money. Right? Remember, motivation is why, what are you doing it for? If not, you end up in debt, right? And this is where your keep it or cut it can come from. You can now do all of this stuff in a ChatGPT thread. If it learns your whole business, what look like marketing or lead generation, and like you can train it. Now, anytime I would run the personal one and the business one separate, but once it does all this stuff, it's stored in its memory. So then you could ask it a business question, right? Then you could get into the prompts of act as if you're a financial expert with 30 years of experience, specializing in helping real estate agents run profitable budgets and ROI on their spending. And then it's going to think like that. Welcome to the world of Chirag in 2025. Before, we used to have to do all this on spreadsheets. Who the hell needs a spreadsheet anymore? You could just go here and do it. But again, it's knowing how to think about it, the information to put in, the prompts, the questions to ask, and we'll just give it to you. Does anyone have any questions on that?
And yes, please. Can you please repeat? You said upload 12 months of credit card statements, and then you went on to a few other things.
Yeah, so you can only upload, I believe, 5 documents at once, right? So then I would ask it, what is the daily, based on the last 12 months of my spending in my business, what is the daily cost to run my business? What is the weekly cost? What is the monthly cost? And what is the annual cost? And then you'll know. Does anyone have this number today?
But you said to upload other things, not just your credit card statement. You said something else. Or
Anything else, like however you spend money, right? Like it could be your debit, your checking account, your credit cards, right? Like all the various ways that you spend money.
So you're saying upload 5 at a time, and then after you upload 12 twice, I guess, because it's 12 months at 6 and 6, then you ask those questions, correct?
So I would say I'm going to upload the next 12 months of my statements, right?
Then you
Ask
upload.
me if you're uncertain if I'm complete uploading all my statements, since there's a limit, ask me before you start processing the information if I'm done. And then
And if I've done something like that already, I just say, please do not.
no, just start a new thread.
Okay.
And say only use the information in this thread.
Okay.
Believe me, you'll all in 2025 will have a PhD in ChatGPT and AI and all the different ways to use it.
Because what's interesting, I was doing my I am statement and I had like a fat thumb and like I didn't get to write the whole sentence you write. So they made an I am statement for me with all my questions about like what I've been asking them about like my life in general. And I was like, that's great. But I actually need an I am statement and then like what you told me to like put in. So that's why I wanted to make sure. And that was a new thread, right? So I just wanted to make sure that I did it correctly.
Nice. So look, we'll all learn how to use this most effectively, right? So I want you all to think about how you can use ChatGPT most effectively, how you can bring this into your budget, right? Does anyone have questions about this? And then you want to go through those marketing expenses and go through keep it or cut it for 2025. Questions, comments, concerns, excitement? Again, look, this is just saving time, right? So here's the next thing that I want you guys all to work on is, hold on. I want you to start going through this monthly check-in, right? You want to know, what did you spend money on this month? Start itemizing it out, right? The second thing I want you to do, what was most effective, what didn't work, and what do you need to reconsider? Every month, obsess over your money. Does not mean hit the abandon button when you're working on a campaign, because when you invest into anything, like, look, you invest into coaching for the year, you know you're doing it for the whole year, right? If you're going to send one postcard, you better send 12. If not, don't do it. Like, I want you to get out of like doing things that you can't really commit to. Right, then start like just some basic goals, right? What do you want your GCI to be? What do you want your production volume to be? And here's a key, pick one metric to work off of, either GCI or production. Don't do both because it gets confusing, right? Business goals, how much you want to earn in your business. Personal, how much you want to save. Right, you'll want to know numbers like your average sales price in 2024, your average gross commission, your average net commission. So then when you look at a goal, whether it's sales volume, or you can go by your sales price, like how many deals do you have to do? And then when you start tracking and measuring all these numbers, it gets better. And then look, you really want to define your habits, your systems, and your skills, right? And so look, here's some tips here, right? Plan your coaching sessions and your implementation time a year in advance, right? Right? Put 30 minutes a day to work on what you're learning, right? The next thing I'm telling everyone for next year, whatever you do, do not go to every single session all 3 days of the week because you get nothing done. Like we made the tracks repeat every 12 weeks, because if you look at all the skills and things that are involved, it's going to take time. Go deep and not wide. Like if all of you just attended the prospecting session and prospected 5 days a week, you got to remember, at one deal at $500,000, it's a 227% ROI. It's not rocket science on how to get a lot out of this, but what I need you to do is look in the mirror and simplify your life and just get out of your own way. Attendance in coaching does not equal ROI. I'm going to say that again. Attendance is not equal ROI. If you're a team leader and you just went through the value proposition, recruiting and leading and managing your team and being more profitable, you would win. Prospecting Wednesdays at 11:30. And by the way, here's like a little sneak peek. There is a new Circle Prospect and Partner that we've partnered and we're working with the people on, that you can literally hit a button and send a handwritten note to a house, an email, a postcard, and we're going to partner with them. And part of next year is, for a minimum of a month, you'll have free access to it and the CEO of the company to personally teach you how to use it. Right? So there's such a robust offering here. So like, we're going to organize this into something simple that you can follow, right? We're going to be reverting to our plan all the time, right? Can I now share with you some of the ways that we've like listened to all of your feedback, and like some of the ways that some of the new things, right? So I can show you some of the cool shiny pennies like Marketing Center or AI search tool. And I want to share a few other things, because like people always ask, like, what's different? These are the challenges. Like, yes, I do listen to what you all say, right? Now, the first thing I want to talk about is accountability. Who here feels in the course of a year that they can get lost? Hit yes. Yes, if I can't see you. So one of the things that we have built on our end, right, is a way for us really to track you across of the year, right? So You'll see on our onboarding session on the 3rd, one of the things that we're most excited about is Susan. Like, her background is a nurse, right? So she's into this whole I want to care for you thing, but her entire job is the head of happiness. So you'll notice next year you now have to log on to the Zoom sessions. Why are we making you log on? Because it's really important over the course of a year, if you miss a week, 2 weeks, or God forbid, a month, like, someone reaches out to you. So her whole entire job is making sure that all of you are happy. What does happiness means? You're keeping the promises to yourself. You're able to find the resources. We're able to connect you with people. Like, it's a live human whose entire job is doing that. So we'll know next year if you're attending the sessions, if you're looking at our recap emails, right? Our recap emails are literally going to be a highlight of actionable items from the session, right? So the way that we thought about the email is that, like, what success looks like is, if you never attended a session, just open my email once a week, the Friday recap email that we're going to bring back, and you just implemented what you used, you'd have a great ROI on the program because it's that actionable, right? So when you start thinking about that, like, yeah, there's a person that you can actually talk to all year round. And, she's spoken to some of you and she's like, people really like hearing from us, Chirag. Like, this is great. They're all really great people. It goes, yeah. But one of the biggest things is like, if you miss a session, you probably get a text. If you miss another session, you'll get an email. If you miss 3 sessions, you can get a call. And if we lose track of you in an entire quarter, we're going to be haunting you before the start of the next 12-week track. So at worst case scenario, if you disappear, maybe for a quarter, but you can get back on track, right? The accountability groups, your accountability leaders here, Cherish, Brad, Martha, and Jody have done an incredible job. Well, it's time as a company that we want to pour more into them. So David and I are coaching them. We're mentoring them. We're giving them the resources. We're connecting all of the things together. So there's a lot more structure to, I learned this in the session. Now I'm going to an accountability session, right? There have been several of you who've written emails. Well, the accountability sessions are a little off because there are also people that don't know today's coaching that want catch up. The accountability groups for next year are only for the people in this program. Right? So there won't be anyone on there that's asking you to send them an email with something they don't have or to explain something that you just heard that you're looking to really reinforce. Now, let me show you this. This is not done yet, but I'll show you like a little sneak preview of a couple of things now. Welcome to AI search, right? So you can type in like, I am looking for a communication plan. Here it is, right? I'm looking for a video. Here it is, right? Script. And just like that, you'll be able to find stuff now. Pretty cool, right? Yeah, I know a lot of you are really happy right now. Let me show you this. Oops. Now, if we go here, bear with me here. So for those of you who want to see what the Marketing Center is, there are different templates here, right? Now, these are all in Marketing Center. You can see there are places for you to put your logo, your bio. There's a table of contents. And these documents are in here. So you can add, edit, change them as you see fit. So all of these documents are going into Marketing Center. So your question is, so all of the whole playbook for the skills, the Marketing Center, our AI search, these are all upgrades that our team's finishing through the end of the year for next year to align our sessions around what we're doing in our curriculum and takeaways and giveaways, that we just can build them all in advance because, again, we're going deep and not wide. For any of you who are not renewing, your access expires December 31st. So please go in there and download anything that you need in advance. Like, I want you to use the stuff. This year, there's nothing in Marketing Center. So for CSC coaching. So putting everything in Marketing Center, publishing into everyone's account individually and changing this and working with Compass has been a far greater lift than we ever imagined. But everything we do now from three-phase marketing to what they do will all be in here, right? Client events. Many of you have asked, when can we see each other more? Well, next year we have our first annual CSC client event, right? So we're inviting all of you, right? So for people that have purchased a membership in September sometimes. So we're finding a location, probably like the third week in September. By the beginning of the year, we'll have an annual calendar. Andrew, we're not doing it on any of the Jewish holidays or close to them, so don't you worry. So we'll have an annual client. Like at the end of March, there'll be an event here, right? At the end of Q1, Q2, Q3 will be our client event. Q4, we'll have a holiday party. So we'll have in-person gatherings, right? Everyone who paid for an annual membership will get a complimentary ticket. There is no purchase. For your team members, there's obviously a cost that we have that we're just going to pass along, but it's only for people in the coaching program. Chris Smith and I are literally building an AI coach that you can interact with that is all sales, marketing. So look, a lot of you have asked, like, what's new next year? It's all of this stuff, and it's just going deeper and just making it all easier for you to use. Whether it's in your Marketing Center, practicing skills, enhanced accountability sessions, right? All of these things that we're doing is everything that you've all asked for. I can't say outside of an AI coach that literally replaces a one-on-one coach, because look, the reality is most people cannot afford $1,000 to $1,500 a month for an individual coach. And I don't believe that you shouldn't have the support. People have more complex businesses. They do need that level of support, but there has to be something for everyone, right? And like, we're not naive to the fact of like, yeah, I have great marketing stuff, but Chris has amazing stuff on sales, marketing, email marketing, postcard marketing, social media. And he's put all of his stuff here, and he's written 2 best time selling books. So we have planned an incredible year out for all of you. But it all starts with your plan. If you don't have a great plan, it doesn't matter what we have. And I just don't believe that people left to their own devices are going to do better on their own. They don't. It is not a good idea. And I always tell people, what scares me most in the world is we'll invest in clothes, we'll invest in eating out, we'll invest in coffees, we'll invest in trips, we'll invest in vacations and all kinds of things, going out to dinner. And we don't think about it. Does anyone ever think about going to dinner? Like, oh my God, it's going to cost a lot. No, we'll go out to dinner as we need. Most people are not that disciplined when it comes to that. But the thing that scares me most in the world that we live in today, it's changing at a faster rate than it ever has before. But when it comes time to invest in you, all of a sudden, it is a much bigger choice to invest the same amount of money in yourself as you do in something like food or clothes or shoes or vacations or bags or stuff. And that scares me, because the most valuable thing that all of us have, and the thing that everyone in our lives counts on, is the person in the mirror. And when we have the confidence to realize the greatest investment we can make is ourselves, and we go all in on us, you win. Then all of these things start working, right? We've always wanted to make our program affordable for everyone. If you pay annually, it's less than $10 a day. If you pay monthly, it's like $13.33 a day. Right? All the people that say we have so much to implement, don't leave it to your own vices. Because we have all this information. What we learned, right, is we need a structured 12-week track that repeats every single time, that gives you the reinforcement of accountability groups, peers, in-person events, search tools to find the things. You got to remember, what we made this year is for this year. Next year, we're going into a whole new year, a whole new presidency, different economic factors. Inflation will be different. Interest rates will be different. And everyone will have this, oh, I have so much to implement. I have so much to implement. I have so much to implement. No, you need to go back to the beginning. There's not more to do, Kat, if you want to have a conversation. I think other people think this too. It's not more to do, is attention. I've heard it once. Retention, I'm repeating it, right? And repetition, I'm doing it over and over again, right? So if you look at these skill building roadmaps and the sessions, all you have to do with the base knowledge you have is go in and start implementing and hearing this stuff. Hearing it once does not mean you need to know it, right? Like, I could look at Martha. Martha's been here 3 years, right? I can look at Mai's been here for years. Margie's been here for years, right? Anne has been here for years. Joyce has been here for years. Sherry's been here for years. Christine has been here for years. Mavis has been here for years. Shawanda's been here for years. Sharon's been here for years. Stuart has been here for years, right? Like, the whole world just keeps changing, but you have to hear this over and over again. It's like the same stuff. If you have kids, you wouldn't tell them to stop going to practice. Like, Steph Curry still shoots free throws. Michael Jordan still went to practice. Kobe Bryant still had a coach, right? Like, don't revert back to your own thoughts in your head, right? And what I'm telling everyone is, if it feels like you have so much to implement, just wipe the slate clean, pick the tracks that you're going to, right? And stay consistent. Amanda, are the accountability calls with Cherish and others going to be by topic? So if Monday we cover pre-qualifying, in the accountability session, it's going to be a reinforcement and enhanced learning of pre-qualifying. So there's going to be direct alignment of what you hear in the main session that day and the accountability session, because we want you to go deep and really understand what you're getting, right? And that it all sinks in here.
And can I ask a question about that?
As many as you want.
Thank you. So, I mean, seemingly they would each be on a different topic, right? They may not attend all three. So are you saying that, like, on Monday, there would be an accountability call later in the day, and then that would be on the same topic, and that would be specific to that one person? Or, you know what
So
I'm
yeah,
saying?
so we're working with them to understand which days and what people are going to cover, right? The prospecting track, we'll have a prospecting coach do that. So at least 4 of them. So in a perfect world, there'll be 2 different options for accountability sessions for buyers and sellers on Mondays and Tuesdays.
Awesome. Thanks.
Yep. Does anyone else have any other questions? Babs, I see you ready to hit the unmute button. Go ahead. No question?
I was just going to say thank you. This has been terrific.
You're
Can you hear
welcome.
me?
We're going to listen. I believe next year is a culmination of everything we've ever done in our lives. Like, I would say my life's work's masterpiece will be next year, right? I'll put the renewal link in here. There are 2 things that you want to know about renewals that expire right after Christmas. You all get, because you're a current client, a 15% discount, right? So I believe it brings it down to $3,000, which is less than $10 a day. And all of you, if you sign up before it expires, has a one-on-one coaching call with me throughout the year, right? So, and those calls generally, like, our clients will pay $3,000 for 3 30-minute calls a month. So there's a real value that we want to give you, and also getting to spend time with you individually, right? Like, the calls to be scheduled throughout the year. And we want to spend more time with you in person. We want to get it deeper in the sessions. We want to make everything easier to use. Right. And we want to keep adding stuff. Like, as you could see with all the chat GBT stuff, like you'll save so much time and have such an improved business because you'll never have to go to a single chat GBT training because everything in context of our one system will be done for you. We'll give you the prompts, we'll give you the workflows. And for me, I'm looking to figure out how I can get 5 minutes of like a few prompts or something you could do related to all these skills and all these processes. Anyone else have any questions?
So
Look, and if you have like personal questions, go ahead, shoot.
I did. I put it in the chat. Okay. Oh,
Let's see, where is this? Where do we go to renew? Is that the question? There's your renewals. You can get a discount. You can just put in the coupon code and you're good to go. Team leaders, it's the same thing. We do have a team leader track. Are there team leaders on here, right? We'll have a track for developing your value proposition so you know how to recruit the right people, how to recruit, and David will be teaching you for leadership, right? How to lead your team. And I'm going to be going through building profitable splits and understanding your expenses. So, you know, there is no structured training for team leaders really. So it's something we wanted to add into. The deadline to renew, I believe, is the day after. That's the day that the discount expires. So I encourage all of you in the next, when is Christmas? I think it's next week sometime. So I encourage
It's
you
next Wednesday.
next Wednesday. Amazing.
Hanukkah's too.
those are those
So-
who are. So, Chirag, you threw out so many numbers. Can we have a separate chat about it or get a more detailed thing on your program?
Are you a team leader or are you an individual? You come as a,
Individual
so it's 3,600 minus 15%, which I believe comes out to $3,060 if you pay in full
per month or year?
for the whole year.
Say that again, please.
$3,060. So it's less than $10 a day. There is no discount on the monthly option, but even if you do the monthly option, you still get a bonus one-on-one coaching call with me.
Okay. Thank you.
Welcome. Oh, the accountant Magic Joe. Let me put in their team member's email here. And by the way, we'll have Joe come do a call with us, right? So some cool other things that we can add on here. A buddy of mine, and Lisa had saw this as well when we were in Raleigh. I have a colleague that I work with who's the #1 salesperson in LinkedIn Global. And he has an awesome session on how to drive lead generation through LinkedIn. That's something we'll be doing. We'll be bringing, like when we have those bonus days, those are the great days that we like to bring other people in or virtually, right? We'll have something on tax planning before April, obviously, for all of you. So look, like there's just so many fun surprise and delights that we can put in over the course of a year. So I would reach out to Serena on his team just to coordinate.
Chirag, this is
This-
Raj. Do you have an individual agent link? Because it looks like it when you try to renew for individual agents, it doesn't allow
All right, hold on, let me look at
that.
this.
It just shows team lead.
There should be 2 buttons.
Unless I'm not seeing it.
So you could be 100% correct, so bear with me.
I've been looking and I can't find it either.
All right, hold on. Here, I'm gonna get you a link directly to it. Don't worry, this is the nice part about being here. We can actually walk you through all this stuff together. I'm just gonna get you a link and the code.
Can I post the code for you?
Yep.
I have it handy.
Yeah, me too.
All right, now I just need to get you the checkout page. Hold on.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We have Michael in a minute, right?
Oh, you know what? Hold on.
Yeah.
I have an idea.
Yeah, I was learning that. But they're all Compass agents. So.
The code, Andrew, is CSC Renew, right?
Correct, and CSC Renew 2025. And I posted it.
Yep. I was in my drafts. I'm sending it now. Did you sign up for Grasp? Oh, sick. You gotta take a night off tonight. Like go out, let VZ do the bath and all that stuff.
Arash, it's really interesting listening to your conversation, but you might want to.
So sorry about that.
All right, everyone, here, if you click this link, we had the renewal code just put in for you. So if you click it, the code's already in. So you don't have to add a code or anything else. Babs?
I sent you a direct message that had the link for a single individual agent that you sent me last week, and it
Yep.
worked with
I
the
got
renewal
I had my
code.
assistant, thank you. I just pinged her. I said, can you create a link that has the code built into it?
Okay.
So that people don't click and put the code in. So we're like anything else, we're getting a little smarter as we go along too.
It's
So
working.
we'll send this out. Does anyone else have any questions about 2025?
I do not see the thing for new, not the renewal or whatever.
Oh, did I send it? If you're a team, I would use the other page, right? The one that we put in the beginning. And with the team, you can have up to 10 team members. Does anyone have any questions, thoughts, concerns, excitement?
So, Chirag, I don't see anything for the new, not, you sent the renewal, but what about for the new person?
Do you want this to send to somebody else?
No, for me.
Yeah, click the renewal one. You're renewing clients. You should get a 15% discount and an individual coaching call.
Oh, okay, all right.
So look, with love in my heart, I love you all. Thank you so much for just being you, being part of our journey for the entire year. Right? You'll see a slew of emails, so you can't miss the renewal, the option, the discount. We don't want to, one, create like a mass hysteria for people to sign up and then just extend it. We're not doing that. The second thing is we want to make sure that you get it and that it's easy. And that, look, like, whether you choose to stay or not stay, I support you 100%. But look, it's been amazing to have the opportunity to be a part of your life for an entire year, right? You all are the fuel to our gas tank, the reason that we do what we do. And look, all the feedback and everything you've shared with us, like, we do take it very seriously, right? From the way that we hire people to what our product roadmap is, to putting things in Marketing Center and the AI search tool, to finding things to the accountability groups, the live events. These are all your ideas. Right? And so I'm just the conduit to take what you want and bring it to life. So keep sharing, keep showing up, keep believing in yourself, understand that it all starts here and that we together collectively, because it's the community that's the value, are going to make sure that everyone next year has the best year of their life. Right? So, sit back, enjoy the ride, and just keep on going. Lisa, it's only chapter 1. Our book isn't done, right? So I'm telling all of you, next year will be my greatest masterpiece of my life. I've never personally been so excited about anything I've worked on, and the way that this is coming together, you all will have a serious competitive advantage over everyone, because you'll be able to work faster, smarter, more productively with built-in systems, built-in marketing, and have more free time and earn more income. Because all of these things put together will make you a super agent. All right, everybody, it's 1:31. We'll work on aligning your plan and everything else. And let's just keep going together. Look, if anyone has any questions, literally, about coaching next year, how to work for them, this is what I want you to do. Here's my personal email, right? And in the subject line, just write "call me" and I will give you a call. It was funny. A few people did it last week and their phone rang. They're like, wow, that was fast. Well, I blocked time in my calendar to be able to reach out to all of you the same way that I say to you. All right, everybody, 1:32. Get excited, inspired. This is our last session for this year. Sharon, I will give you a call. Just write that down.
Mailing address.
5 Grist Mill Lane in Westport, Connecticut.
5 Gristmill.
Yep. If anyone needs a call or the link, just let me know. And our
Did
team
you
will.
say Brisk? BRISK?
Grist. Here, I'll put it here.
Westport, right? Yeah, Gristmill. Got it.
I always secretly try to get myself on some of you all send like such great gifts. Sharon, I believe you sent me some gingerbread, correct? I have to send you the pictures. And so we're going to connect anyway. And, we did boys versus ladies, and the ladies' house was like, our house looks like 2 men made it, and theirs looked like, it was like mind blowing. So, I'm excited to call and catch up with you. And that was very generous and thoughtful. So thank you. All right, everybody, if you want to call, shoot me a message, call me. If you need a link, just send me a thing in the subject line, just write the word link, and I'm happy to talk to you, connect with you. I'm really loving doing all of these individual coaching calls with everybody. So let's expand our comfort zone. Let's think forward, anchor into what we talked about in that visualization, and I'll see you all soon. Bye, everybody.